The store you've heard before, even if you didn't realize it. Different names, different cities, different timelines, but the same pattern. A woman walks away from a marriage that, on paper, wasn't broken. No infidelity, no abuse, no screaming matches. Just a man who did what men are supposed to do. He showed up, he helped, he worked, he stayed. But over time, showing up lost its shine. Steady became stale. Predictable became problematic. She wanted something more, not because he failed her, but because he didn't thrill her. And so, she left, not in a whirlwind of fury, but with quiet certainty. She packed the boxes, filed the papers, made the speeches about needing space, needing growth, needing to find herself. And for a while, she flourished. Everyone praised her strength. Her newfound freedom felt like flying. No one asking what's for dinner. No shared calendar. No same old routines. For the first time in years, life felt new. She posted selfies with inspirational quotes, bought candles that smelled like reinvention, dated men who felt exciting just because they were different. But time acts like truth serum. Fast forward. One day she sees him, her ex. He's smiling, confident, happy. There's someone new holding his hand, someone who looks at him the way she once did before routine dulled admiration, before familiarity blurred affection, and that smile. It's not sad. It's not hollow. It's real. It's peace. No signs of devastation, no collapse. Just a man who rebuilt and did it better. And that image hits her harder than any breakup ever did. Because she expected tears, expected regret. She thought she'd be the one moving forward while he struggled to breathe without her. But now she's the one lying awake at 2000 am, scrolling through old photos, questioning everything. Not because he's gone, but because he's okay. Because someone else sees value in what she discarded. There's no betrayal to blame, no dramatic moment to point to. Just a realization that what she left worked, a slow burn kind of love. The kind built in the boring, faithful, everyday moments. She thought those moments were meaningless until no one else could recreate them. The steady support, the quiet loyalty, the guy who picked up milk on the way home and kissed her forehead without a second thought. That kind of love doesn't go viral, but that's the one that lasts. And here's the twist, she convinced herself she was chasing more. But really, she was walking away from enough. Not perfect, not poetic, just honest, functional, rare. And now it's gone. And she's stuck with echoing advice from people who don't live with the fallout. Caught between fantasy and reality, scrolling for validation she used to get from someone who didn't need a camera to prove he cared. Picture the beginning. Coffee delivered to her bedside. He remembered exactly how she takes it. She smiles, feels seen, loved. He plans a surprise date. She's impressed. He listens when she vents about work. She thinks, this man gets me. Every small action carries weight. Every gesture lands like proof of devotion. His effort feels electric because it's fresh, unfamiliar, intentional. Now jump ahead, 5 years, 10 years, same man, same gestures. Same coffee arrives on the nightstand. But this time, invisible, expected. She doesn't even look up. The date he planned, nice, but not impressive anymore. Just another Friday, he listens to her vent, standard operating procedure, he's supposed to listen. That's baseline husband behavior, not bonus points. What changed? Not him. Her perception. Welcome to the death spiral of taken for granted. His reliability, the very foundation that makes him trustworthy, now makes him forgettable. Consistency stops feeling like love. It starts feeling like furniture, always there, rarely noticed, never appreciated until it's gone. She doesn't wake up thinking, I'm lucky. She wakes up thinking, is this it? Same routine, same conversations, same everything. Watch what happens in real time. He gets home, asks how her day went, listens without interrupting, offers to help with dinner, plays with the kids, fixes the thing that broke last week without being reminded, grabs groceries she mentioned needing, suggests they watch something together, reaches for her hand on the couch, says I love you before bed, rinse, repeat, day after day, year after year, and somewhere in that loop she stops seeing devotion, she starts seeing monotony, not because something's wrong, because nothing's dramatic, no fireworks, no grand declarations, no movie moments, just a man showing love the only way sustainable love actually works, quietly, steadily, without keeping score. But that doesn't match the script in her head. The one written by romance novels and Instagram reels. The one where love is constant intensity, surprise, getaways, flowers arriving at random, spontaneous passion, that never requires effort or exhaustion. Real life can't compete with fiction, and he's real, flesh, flaws, routines, and all. She begins asking the wrong question. Not, is he good to me? But, does he make me feel the way I felt at 23? And when the answer is no, she interprets that as failure. His failure. The marriage is failure. Never considering that the feeling she's chasing, that breathless, uncertain, obsessive early stage rush, wasn't love. It was novelty. It was chemistry. It was dopamine. What she has now is deeper, calmer, more secure. But security doesn't spike adrenaline. Stability doesn't make her heart race. So instead of recognizing maturity, she mistakes it for death. She looks at the man who would take a bullet for her and thinks, he's boring, not broken, not cruel, just predictable, and predictable in her mind became the unforgivable sin. Her discontent doesn't stay private, it finds fuel every day, every scroll, every tap on that little screen. Mommy. She opens the app and suddenly her quiet Tuesday evening feels pathetic. There's a couple on a yacht in Greece, another one renewing vows on a cliff in Santorini. Someone's husband surprised her with a closet full of designer bags. Another man wrote a song, learned a dance, hired a flash mob, made her cry tears of joy in front of thousands of strangers who double-tapped their approval. Meanwhile, her husband just asked if she wants pizza or tacos for dinner. She doesn't realize she's watching highlight reels, curated, filtered, staged, edited 20 times before posting. She sees the proposal video but not the arguments that happened an hour later, the vacation photos but not the max credit cards, the grand gesture but not the emotional unavailability that follows it. She's comparing her ordinary Wednesday to someone else's once-in-a-lifetime performance. And her real husband, exhausted from a 10-hour shift, scrolling his phone in silence next to her. He's losing a competition he doesn't even know exists, a competition against fiction, against fantasy, against men who don't actually exist in the way she imagines them. Then she makes a mistake. Posts something cryptic, feeling invisible lately, maybe a sad song lyric, maybe a quote about deserving more. The notifications explode. Strangers rally. You're a queen. He clearly doesn't appreciate you. If he's not making you happy, walk away. Life's too short to settle. People who've never met her husband, never witnessed a single kind thing he's done, never sat across from him at breakfast. They're diagnosing the marriage from a single sentence and prescribing demolition. She screenshots the comments, rereads them at night, starts believing them. She finds forums, groups, communities of women venting about their partners. The algorithm feeds her exactly what confirms her growing resentment. Every post validates leaving. Every story ends with freedom. Nobody talks about regret. Nobody mentions the loneliness that comes 6 months later. The echo chamber only echoes one direction, out. Now she starts interpreting everything through a lens of disappointment. He didn't react enthusiastically enough when she shared news. Emotional neglect. He wanted 30 minutes alone after work before diving into conversation. Avoidant behavior. He forgot to plan something special for a random weekend. Proof he stopped trying. He asked directly what she needed instead of intuiting it. Evidence he doesn't truly understand her. She's not evaluating him fairly anymore. She's prosecuting him, building a case with circumstantial evidence and biased witnesses who've never even appeared in the courtroom. The verdict was decided before the trial began. He's guilty of not being a fantasy. Guilty of existing in 3 dimensions instead of 2. Guilty of being human in a world that worships holograms. And every swipe, every comment, every viral love story pushes her closer to the edge she doesn't realize she's standing on. The decision doesn't arrive with thunder. It creeps in like fog. One morning she wakes up and the conclusion feels obvious. She's leaving. Not because something exploded, because something inside her quietly died. Or so she tells herself. The conversations happen, the tears fall, the boxes get packed, friends take sides, family whispers, lawyers exchange emails. And through it all, she feels strangely calm, certain. This is the right move. She deserves happiness. She deserves excitement. She deserves a love that doesn't feel like autopilot. The first few weeks taste like victory. Nobody to answer to. Nobody asking where she's going. Nobody expecting dinner or laundry or conversation. She redecorates, buys new sheets, new candles, new clothes, posts photos with captions about growth and healing and choosing herself. The likes pour in, the comments validate every choice. You look amazing. So proud of you. This is your era. She believes it. Why wouldn't she? The dopamine hits keep coming. New matches on dating apps, new conversations, new men saying new things. Attention floods in from every direction. She forgot what it felt like to be pursued, to be mysterious, to be wanted by someone who doesn't already know every story, every flaw, every scar. The dates begin. Dinners at trendy restaurants, drinks at rooftop bars. Compliments that feel fresh because they're coming from unfamiliar mouths. She feels alive again. This is what she was missing. This is what marriage stole from her. This electricity, this anticipation, this thrill of not knowing what happens next. But electricity fades, anticipation turns to anxiety. Thrill becomes exhaustion. The charming guy cancels plans twice, then disappears for a week, comes back with excuses that don't quite add up. The confident guy talks only about himself, never asks a single question, treats her like an audience, not a partner. The exciting guy runs hot then cold, texts constantly then vanishes, creates chaos she mistakes for passion, until she realizes it's just instability wearing a good cologne. She tries to find someone solid, someone dependable, someone who reminds her of what she left. But when she finds him, something strange happens. He feels boring, safe in a way that triggers her, familiar, in a way that repels her. She left boring, she's not going backward, so she keeps swiping, keeps dating, keeps searching for someone who combines the stability of her ex with the excitement of strangers. That person doesn't exist, not in real life. Only in the fantasy she constructed from fragments of fiction. Months pass, maybe a year. Then the photo appears on her feed. Her ex-husband. New haircut, genuine smile, arm around someone new. A woman who looks at him like he hung the moon. He looks peaceful, content, whole. And suddenly the air leaves her lungs because he was supposed to fall apart without her. Instead he rebuilt, and she's the one still searching. The image burns into her memory. His smile, her smile. The way they lean into each other like two people who actually want to be there. She closes the app, but the picture stays, haunting her thoughts at random moments during morning coffee, in the shower, at 2:00 a.m. when sleep refuses to come. She starts doing something dangerous, comparing. Every man she's met since leaving gets measured against the one she discarded, and suddenly the measurements don't favor the new ones anymore. The guy who seemed exciting never once asked if she got home safe. Her ex always texted, every single time, without fail. The charming one who made her laugh couldn't remember her birthday. Her ex never forgot a single date that mattered to her. The successful one with a fancy car made her split the check, then complained about his ex-wife for 3 hours. Her ex would have paid quietly and spent the evening asking about her dreams. Small memories surface uninvited. The way he always checked the tire pressure on her car without being asked. How he carried groceries in one trip because he knew she hated multiple trips. The silent way he handled problems before she even knew they existed. Fixing things, managing logistics, absorbing stress so she wouldn't have to. She never thanked him. Not really. She expected it, demanded it, critiqued it when it wasn't perfect, but appreciated it rarely, maybe never. Now she's dating men who can't even return a text within 24 hours. Men who vanish when things get inconvenient. Men who expect everything and offer nothing. Men who make her feel desired for an evening, then discarded by morning. The loneliness hits differently now. Before, she felt lonely in the marriage. At least that's what she told herself. But that loneliness had a warm body next to it. Someone who would hold her during nightmares. Someone who noticed when she was quiet. Someone who cared whether she ate breakfast or skipped it. This loneliness echoes. Empty apartment, empty bed, empty notifications, except spam and strangers wanting something she's tired of giving. She wanted passion, she got performance, temporary acts from temporary people. She wanted intensity, she got inconsistency. Men who burned bright, then flamed out. She wanted better, she got different, and different revealed itself as worse dressed in better lighting. The regret doesn't announce itself politely. It ambushes her. In the grocery store when she passes his favorite cereal. During songs they used to sing badly together. When something funny happens and her first instinct is still to text him. But she can't. That door closed. She closed it, locked it, celebrated locking it, boasted about locking it, and now someone else holds the key. Someone who recognized the treasure she labeled trash. Someone who will never take for granted what she threw away without a second glance. This part is for the men, the ones who gave everything and still got left. The ones who showed up daily and got told it wasn't enough. The ones who built their entire identity around making her happy, only to watch her walk away towards someone who offered a fraction of what they gave. Listen carefully. Your loyalty was never the problem. Your consistency wasn't boring. Your reliability wasn't weakness. But somewhere along the way, you made a critical error. You believed that more effort would equal more love. That if you just tried harder, gave more, sacrificed deeper, she would finally see your worth. That strategy backfires every single time. When you overgive, something shifts. She stops seeing a partner. She starts seeing someone who needs her more than she needs him. And need kills attraction faster than anything else. You became the one chasing, the one adjusting, the one bending. And every time you bent, she respected you a little less. Not consciously, not intentionally, but instinctively. You probably fixed every problem before she even asked, jumped at every complaint, rearranged your entire schedule around her moods, made her comfort your primary mission. And what did that teach her? That your time is less valuable than hers, that your needs come second, that you have nowhere else to be and no one else who wants you. That's not devotion, that's desperation wearing a nice mask, and she sensed it, even if she couldn't name it. Even if she told herself she wanted exactly what you were offering. Something inside her recoiled from a man without boundaries, without options, without the quiet confidence that comes from knowing he could walk away if disrespected. Here's what you need to understand going forward. Stop building your entire existence around one person. Have purpose outside the relationship. Goals that excite you, friendships that fulfill you, hobbies that challenge you. When your whole world orbits her, the gravity becomes suffocating. She doesn't want to be your universe. She wants to be part of a universe that's already full. Boundaries aren't walls. They're respect. Respect for yourself, for your time, for your emotional energy. When something feels unfair, say it. When you're being taken for granted, address it. Not with more effort, with less availability. Create space. Let her wonder, let her miss what she stopped noticing, and if she chooses to leave despite everything, let her go with dignity. No begging, no bargaining, no performing heartbreak for her benefit. Grieve privately, rebuild publicly. Become the strongest version of yourself, not to win her back, but to attract someone who never needed convincing. The greatest revenge isn't anger, it's indifference wrapped in improvement. It's her seeing you thriving while she wonders why she left. It's knowing your value doesn't depend on her validation. You were enough. You always were. She just couldn't see it. That's her loss to carry now. This final part is for everyone standing at the crossroads, the ones questioning their marriage at midnight, the ones collecting evidence for an exit they haven't announced yet, the ones who feel that quiet pull towards something else, someone else, somewhere else. Before you move, hear this: boredom is not betrayal. Routine is not rejection. The absence of butterflies does not mean the absence of love. It means love has matured past the stage that requires constant excitement to survive. What you're feeling isn't proof that you married wrong. It might be proof that you forgot what you married into. That person beside you, the one who breathes too loud, leaves dishes in the sink, tells the same stories twice. They chose you, again and again, through exhaustion and frustration and monotony. They stayed when staying required more than just showing up. They built something with you that can't be replicated with strangers, no matter how attractive the packaging looks. The qualities that don't photograph well are the ones that matter most. Patience during your worst moments, presence during your hardest seasons, the willingness to witness you at your ugliest and still reach for your hand in the dark. Nobody posts about that, but that's the substance. Everything else is decoration. Passion fades in every relationship, every single one. The question isn't whether the spark will dim. It's whether you'll learn to appreciate the warmth that remains when the fire settles. Calm isn't boring. It's peace, and peace is rare, precious, worth protecting. If you feel disconnected, speak before you spiral. Not accusations, not ultimatums. Just truth. Tell them what you need, specifically, clearly. Give them a chance to meet you there. Most people want to show up for their partner. They just can't read minds, and expecting telepathy leads to resentment every time. Leaving has consequences you can't preview from where you stand. Children who split holidays, finances that crumble, mutual friends who disappear. A history erased because you wanted a different feeling. Sometimes leaving is necessary. Abuse demands escape. Betrayal sometimes breaks beyond repair. But leaving because the ordinary feels too ordinary. But decision echoes for decades. The grass on the other side isn't greener. It's just unfamiliar. And unfamiliar looks better only because you haven't discovered its weeds yet. Every lawn requires work. Every relationship demands effort. The question is whether you'll invest in what you already planted or start over in soil you don't yet understand. Choose wisely, not based on feelings that shift like weather, based on values that hold like anchors. Commitment isn't a cage. It's a choice renewed daily. A promise that says, I'm staying, not because I have to, but because I decided you were worth it. Value what you have while it's still yours. Some doors once closed never open again. Some people once lost never return. Don't become the cautionary tale you warn others about. Don't trade substance for fantasy. Build carefully. Love intentionally. Stay awake to what matters.